Well, good morning. Welcome to today's morning meeting. We get our audio working right. Hopefully, things are going well for you. You are out there hustling, making some money as a real estate agent. Today, we've got a very cool, very important topic. We're going to talk a little bit about, does somebody really need a real estate agent? With all the last year, August, the lawsuit that went down and the NAR stuff, and then all the bad rap on realtors, and you've been taking all our money forever, and we're finally cracking down. Do you really need a real estate agent? Is there a reason to have that if you're a seller or if you're a buyer? There's no shortage of companies that are going to disrupt the market and cut commissions and make it transactional and all of that stuff. But I got to ask you, as an agent, do you think they need you? Do they need your services? And if so, why? What you're not allowed to say is, I care about your business. I'll negotiate in your best interest. I'll make sure you don't make a mistake. All of the things that we all say, that number one doesn't make you unique. And number two, really doesn't even describe why they would need a real estate agent. I mean, let's be honest here. Before we dig into the details, all we're doing is filling out blanks on a purchase contract. How many days for inspection? 7. How many days for financing? 21. Maybe a little term in there, the appliances are to be included or, whatever the case is. But what are you really doing when it comes to comps, when it comes to getting with the lender, coordinating everything, making sure the appraisal gets done, all of those factors that are in play? I understand because I've been doing this 26 years. I coach tens of thousands of realtors. So I understand the benefits. But if I look at your marketing, does the public understand your benefits? Maybe that's why you're not attracting the kind of business you should attract. If today, on today's morning meeting, I can give you some bullet points, some thoughts to kind of go through to improve your marketing, to improve your perception to the general public. So not only they see a need for an agent, but they see a need for you individually, as opposed to the last agent that helped them when they bought a home or their brother who just got his real estate license or whatever the case is. If we can build enough value around what it is that you do, you being on today's morning meeting, you'll actually improve your business. You'll improve your approach. You'll improve your return on investment when it comes to your advertising dollars. So that's really going to be our goal. But the fact is, I think we can all agree the public mistakenly, but the public often looks at us as an unnecessary expense. I think we can agree on that, right? It's like it's a damn expense I don't want to pay. How much will you do it for? I want to do it I'll find someone that'll do it cheaper. I hate that word it, right? That'll do it cheaper. Well, do what cheaper? They won't do what I do. They certainly won't. You won't get what I do at 4% or at 7% or at 10% because what I do is so far uniquely different when we get into that target marketing, going directly to the most opportune buyer, doing everything outside of the norm, which is just listed on the MLS and put a sign in the yard and maybe run a couple of ads with the agent's photo that they took 23 years ago. That's not what we're doing. We're finding out who's the most opportune buyer based on income, credit, family size, most likely to have, any propensities inside the home. They own a boat, they have pets, whatever it is that's the highest and best use for this property. That's who we go after, and we invest thousands of dollars in marketing to do so. You ain't getting that at any price. Do you position yourself that way? So I really want you to kind of think through that because having a real estate agent is not a cost, it's an investment. Now they look at it the other way around. If you were to ask the general public now, yeah, you got to pay your realtor. Don't forget those costs. That's not a cost, that's an investment for some agents. To be clear, for the majority of them, it truly is a cost. They won't return a damn phone call. Can we agree on that? They are not earning their fee. A lot of agents in your marketplace are not being good real estate agents. They are not representing their client effectively. We can agree on that internally. We in the real estate profession can agree on that internally. It is, in many cases, for those clients, it is a cost. They're paying something and not getting their money's worth. Hopefully for you, particularly if you're involved with us and you're in Greg Luther Inner Circle coaching, it's an investment for those prospects because the buyers and sellers are getting someone that truly does a great job for them, goes above and beyond, exposes that home to the most opportune buyers, or the other way around, if you're representing the buyer, knows how to get access to unlisted pre-market homes before anybody else knows they're for sale, before they're on Zillow or Realtor.com or the MLS. If you're doing those things, you are worth more. Not only are you worth the expense, the investment, you're worth more than everybody else. But you have to know how to position that the right way. So the fact is, most of these, you go on the seller side, but now with the new changes to commission, some of the buyers are also negotiating. If you won't do it for me at 1%, I'll find someone else that will. The buyers are starting to negotiate on their side too, because you're supposed to be getting it in writing before you start showing them some homes. But their goal is to negotiate it as low as they possibly can, or they'll find someone else that will do it for less. Will do what for less? Fill in the blanks on the freaking contract? The transaction itself, the contract itself, unlocking the doors has very little to do with what real estate agents do. We know the knowledge base we have, the data that we can collect, the things that we can watch out for, that we can do a much better job as a pro as compared to someone that's emotionally charged, making a decision because it's 5 doors down from their mother's house and their mother can babysit for them. Right? It's like the perfect place. I'll overpay for it, or I'll get terms that are not favorable to me, or I'll spend money on a home inspection and appraisal and everything else and can't even get to the closing based on seller situation. So the problem is, if they look at you as an expense and they're trying to negotiate you down and they're saying someone else can do it for less, the first thing you need to do is be very clear. Nobody else can do this at any price. Can you prove that? Can you back that up? Or are you a commodity realtor that can be replaced by someone that would do it, the same thing, for cheaper? You have to really think through that. And not only your marketing, your promotion, your conversion, your presentation, but also your representation once you do have them. Is it truly different, better, unique, superior to the others that are out there? So the fact is, what you need to do, when I say, do you really need a real estate agent? When I say, what is it you do that's different than everybody else? You need to build value in their mind, not yours. Can you write that down for me? Build value in their mind, not yours. I don't care how good you think you are, how great you are on the representation of that client, or you just spit out the same thing everybody else does. Well, I'm here to represent your best interest and negotiate on your behalf and make sure that you don't have any stumbling blocks. The same thing everybody says, which means anybody else can do it for cheaper. I promise you, there's someone hungrier than you, like physically like as in needs to have money for food and will do anything for it, will work for food type realtors. I promise there's somebody hungrier than you willing to discount themselves. But if they can't price your services higher, lower, have anything to do with it, if they can't duplicate it, if you're in a category of one, it's real simple. Do they want good or do they want cheap? But you can't pretend that you are good and then rattle off those things that everybody rattles off, what I just told you. I've been in the business for 25 years and I know this area like the back of my hand. I'm a native to the area. I was born and raised here. Most people are transplants here. I know everybody. I went to college here. I've got a big social network. All of the things that everybody else says that makes them unique, everybody says it. So in fact, they're not unique at all. So your goal in your marketing, in your conversion, in your actual representation, once you do have them, is to build value in their mind, not your own. Not you knowing how good you are, but nobody else knows that. You're like the secret realtor, the best kept secret in town. Nobody's using you. So it's important for you to figure out how you're going to get that message out there. Is it in print? Is it in video? Is it in your newsletter to your sphere? Are you growing your followers, the people that are loving your advice and what you give? I guarantee you this video today will get more people following, because if they actually watch it and they truly want to grow their business, it would be ridiculous. It would be sabotage to their own business to not follow this page. Are you doing that in your business? Are you putting out good quality content based on your profession, what you know, what you do, how you look at the market, some position that you have that makes them think, oh my gosh, this person's really good. I like hearing what they have to say. Are you doing that? If you do that, you will see more people following you, interested in you, working with you. If you don't do that, you will sit at home and wait on your friends and family to have a need again. And you can say 90% of my business comes from past clients and referrals. You got to get your message out there. You got to make sure that you're building value in their mind, not in yours. So tell me right now, if I said, why should I use you as a real estate agent? And if there's nobody around, please say it out loud. Why should I use you as a real estate agent? Let's hear the rap. Let's hear the elevator pitch. Why should I use you as an agent? Say something without saying represent your best interest, because that's what everybody says. Say something without saying negotiate, because that's what everybody says. What access are you getting them? What priority notification? What early beat other buyers to the best buyers or to the best properties? Is it on the seller side? You can get it in front of more people. Cost is only a factor in the absence of value. If you build enough value, cost goes away. Let me give you that again. Cost is only a factor in the absence of value. Some attorneys are $75 an hour. There's literally attorneys right now that passed the exact same bar exam, got the exact same score, know the same laws. They get $75 an hour. And there's others that get over $3,000 an hour. It's not 50% more or double or triple or even 1,000% more. They don't charge 10 times what the others do. They charge multiples more. Still an attorney. Oh, I got someone that can do it for less. They can't do what I do. So I can assure you on a real estate transaction with a tangible good, with real estate, I can assure you, you can make a lot more of a difference agent compared to another agent than an attorney compared to another attorney. We only deal in $500,000 or $1 million transactions. We only deal in hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of transactions. We're not dealing with a $25,000 lawsuit. We're not dealing with a $200,000 lawsuit. We're dealing with real estate. And that's not to compare us to attorneys, by the way. And there's lots of great attorneys out there. By the way, guess who's the best? Those that charge the most. Those that earn their fee and have great reviews. So that's a perfect example of they have a bad rap as well, but there's an awful lot of good ones out there. So put real estate in the same realm. Real estate agents, particularly over the news press that's happened over the last year and a half, real estate agents have gotten a bad rap, and you're all scammers, you're all all the stuff that you hear all the time. But there's some damn good ones that do an awesome job, that have a great, tremendous reputation with their people and their community, and they continue to grow. That's what you need to focus on doing and being. So if I were to say, tell me why I should use you as an agent, and you're not allowed to say those typical things because that's what everybody says, it's not a unique way to work with you. It's not a unique reason to work with you. Show them something they can't get elsewhere. Show them something that they cannot get elsewhere. If you can do that, your business model stands out. Your advertising starts to work better. I can guarantee you, you saying you're number one is not going to help you in any way. And in many cases, it's going to hurt you. You saying you're with the number one company is not going to help you in any way. In many ways, it's going to hurt you. As a matter of fact, the only reason you say you're with the number one company is because you don't feel confident about who you are. So you're trying to lean on the company. There are better ways to do this. If you're an inner circle member, you don't have this problem. If you're involved in our coaching, you already know how to differentiate yourself. You love the day that you can go out on a listing appointment against 5 other agents. There's no shot of someone losing if they're trained well, they understand what to do and say, and how to build value in the prospect's mind. So I want you to do just that. Your goal today is I want you to do a little bit of homework here so we can grow your business. I want you to take out a piece of paper, and without all those typical things that everybody else says, I want you to write down all of the reasons someone should use you. Do that as a buyer, why they should use you, and then as a seller, why they should use you. And if that paper doesn't go down long enough, if you don't have enough bullet points, now you know what you need to adjust. Now you know what you need to work on, or what you should actually be learning today rather than learning some shit about AI. Now you can actually learn some things that are going to help you, that are beneficial, not that are new and shiny. Things that will help you to get smarter, not to replace you, not to so-called make you better. Because if you can learn a little bit about RI, real intelligence, that's going to work a whole lot better than AI. So start making those notes now and realize that, you know what? I'm structuring a presentation. I'm restructuring the way I present myself to the general public. That's going to be incredibly valuable for us to show in our marketing and our presentations and our day-to-day representation, even when we're out showing homes, to be able to say and do those things. It makes a tremendous difference. Let me know your thoughts on this, by the way. Do you agree that most agents have a bad reputation, even with other agents? Have you had agents in your marketplace that don't return calls, that are very slow to respond, that don't follow the deadlines that we have? I'd like to hear something by 8 o'clock tonight, and then 2 days later, they're like, hey, does your client still want to buy this house? They're not doing what they're supposed to do. Have you had that happen? Let me know in the comments here below. And then also, do you feel that you could improve or would be interested in ways that you can improve your own presentation, your own representation of your clients? Because the fact is, if you do care about truly helping them with the biggest investment of their entire life, if you do truly care about that, you already know you are always trying to find a way to improve what it is that you offer, to improve your service, so that they have a outstanding experience with you. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments here below.